What is your view of what should be done, for example, with Russian sports people, athletes and so on? There is a view that they should all be banned from any competition. There's another view that only the team playing under the Russian flag should be banned and individuals should be allowed to continue. What is your view as one of the great sporting champions, certainly of my lifetime?
On the economical side, isolation of Russia. On different points of it, gas, oil, coal, no ships can park at any ports. They should understand that the world is against this senseless war. Against, not just with wording and sanctions, but in reality nothing, but isolation. Athletes, next Olympic Games, I think that IOC should ban the Russian team now. The war is going on. They cannot participate in the next Olympic Games. They cannot participate in any athletic events because this war is represented by Russia. So athletes representing Russia. And there's definitely connection. And I believe that this is going to be the message. And that's exactly the answer for the question, what would you say to Mr. Putin? It's really, saying is cheap now. Action speaks louder than words. Isolation. Isolation. And this isolation speaks louder than any line and any word, because isolation is painful. Yes, it's going to be painful for athletes, it's going to be painful for economy, it's going to be painful for everybody and anybody that is involved with Russia, silently trading with Russia, supporting them financially with this, in this trade, because the money that Russia is getting and filling up their budget, they're getting and producing more weapons and financing their soldiers that today killing us Ukrainians. And that must be stopped with isolation. And athletes is not an exception.
Wladimir, when this war is over, and one day it will be over, do you hope to get back to boxing again? There's been lots of speculation that that may be what you want to do.
You're going to put a smile on my face. I just realized recently that I haven't smiled a lot in the past 3 days. And you just said something about sports, because that puts me in somewhere my comfort zone, because that's where my passion is. And honestly, I was thinking like I should just take Tyson Fury and tweet "Last Dance?" ? Since he wants to retire, and we're supposed to have this rematch, and I was thinking about it. You know, I didn't do it because my mind was in totally different, or now in a different world. But it just, you know, after getting those news that he defended the title and he is retiring, and I wish him the best. But I was really thinking I should send this. I should tweet this Last Dance.
Do you feel like it's unfinished business with you two?
I believe. Well, that was all the dreams before the war, and I was sharing those dreams. I had a dream to become the oldest heavyweight champion of the world, and not to break the jaw in the ring, you know, obviously speaking of the contrahand, but to break the record, and that's to become the oldest heavyweight champion after George Foreman. So I was 45, now I'm 46, and that's exactly the time. That was the plan, but we're talking about something that was happening before, and now there's a big question mark what is going to go on with the war, and there's a lot of question marks. We don't know what is going to happen tomorrow, so that's why
I think that's right. But I also
step
think
by step.
I loved your reaction when I mentioned it, because it must be hellish what you're all going through in Ukraine. And the moment I mentioned something which took you back to your life before this, your face lit up. You know, the last time I saw you was at the Alfred Dunhill Links golf tournament in October last year. And I remember you were celebrating one night with Andrei Shevchenko, the great Ukrainian football player. And life seemed pretty good for all of us right then. And life has changed very dramatically now. And I very much hope that, you know, come the autumn, this war is over. You've got your country back, you've won. And I get to see you again up in Scotland on the links there, because that would be a sign of, I think, a reward for the astonishing courage that you and the Ukrainian people have shown.
Fingers crossed. Hopefully the peace in Ukraine will come sooner than later. Thank you for having me, Mr. Morgan. It was great seeing you.
You know what? It's
Cheers
great.
from Kyiv, Ukraine.
It's been such an honor to interview you. I'm in total awe of all that you're doing and all the Ukrainian people. We all are over here. And I think the more that Britain can do and the more the West can do generally to help you defeat Putin, the better. And I will be urging them to do that. And I wish you and your family all the very best, Wladimir, as you go forward. And I just hope that you continue to confound all the skeptics and the doubters, and that you win this war, because it matters so much, I think, to democracy that you do.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
What a remarkable guy. And they are remarkable people, aren't they, the Ukrainians? He sort of perfectly exemplifies that spirit, that fighting spirit. They're not going to give up, and I think they're going to win.